Hey guys, I just wanted to do a real quick video on these two jackets here. These are vintage hunting jackets from around the 50s and 60s. We have two brands. We have Bushmaster and Safety Back. I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of history and kind of the cool features of these jackets, and I feel like there's not a lot of documented stuff online about them. There's some videos out there, but not a lot. But yeah, the predominant brands that you'll see of these jackets are Safety Back and Sears. Sears had a whole different kind of lines of them. They had the Sears Active, they had the Sears Sports and stuff like that. So a lot of the ones that you'll see out there are Sears. And along with that is Safety Back. Bushmaster, I haven't seen a lot of. This is actually my first Bushmaster that I've ever had, but very similar to the Sears ones. But the general overall outline of these jackets are the two pockets in the front. Most of them will have sort of these diagonal pockets that you can put your hand in or anything you need in, as well as the pockets underneath with the integrated shotgun shell loops. These are just elastic that you put your shotgun shells in, along with a chest pocket here. Along with that, you have a shooting shoulder. Typical, you'll see half with the shooting shoulder, half without the shooting shoulder. This one doesn't have that particular feature or design. And then other than that, I think one other thing to really note about the front here on these jackets is the buttons don't go all the way down. That's for mobility. I think if you're sitting down with the jacket, it opens up and just gives a lot more mobility. These jackets were really designed for mobility and for having full range of movement. Going to the back, and typically most of them have a corduroy collar. That's just another common thing about these. Turning these around to the back, you have the biggest thing, which is the game pouch access, which are here on the sides. This is what you use to, if you have small game or fowl, any birds, things like that, that you shoot and you need to store them away, you can put them in there. I'll open up the jackets here in a second, show you the bags on the inside, but these come typical, and kind of what really defines a hunting jacket of the era and shooting jackets. Not typical, but kind of typical for Safety Back are these just kind of plastic rain backs. So it's just plastic to help keep your back sort of less wet and sort of wick off some of the water. Unlike the other jackets, Sears jackets, Bushmaster jackets don't really have it. This is more of a newer, sort of the 60s, 70s, and 80s jackets will typically have this, along with the, but most Safety Backs have them. Another feature that actually I just learned about today are these two tabs back here. I always thought it was a bit unusual why they had these, considering they have typically loops on the insides. Because I just thought they were, to hang your jackets, but actually no, this is for large game. You actually typically tie them on with a string or rope, or if or just take their feet and put them through here like birds, stuff like that. But this is actually just more for large game and carrying them. You can tie them on here and have them hang on your back there, which is a neat feature. Typical for most jackets is an underarm gusset or vents that you see on these. So that's really the outside view. We'll take these and open them up here. So opening up the jackets here, you'll see different types of game bags, but this is the most common, or this is typically what they all look like, is just a bag. This one's plastic, this one's more canvas with a lining in it. But they typically are fastened down at the top with buttons, and they usually have zippers on the side here that you can just quickly open up and sort of wash out all the blood or the feathers, anything that you gets trapped in there. And then on this one, that one's typical of Safety Back and some of the other brands, but normally Safety Back likes using this plastic, sort of a newer feature. And really that's all that there is on the inside. There's not really a coating or anything. But with these older ones, this is definitely a more 50s example here. This is actually a feature that I haven't really seen on any, which is sort of this inner fleece back. So unlike how this one has a rain back, that's what I'm calling it, to sort of keep your back dry and warm, and how this one's unlined. This one's actually lined with a just a bit of fleece material, or flannel material. I haven't seen this feature done on really any others that I have, but it is on this one, and I think on other Bushmasters it's common for most of them. Going down to the game pouch here, this is just like a very looser canvas compared to the actual jacket material. It's a lot looser and soft, but on the inside these are sprayed with like a rubberized coating. And a lot of times if you're getting these jackets, they've actually dried up. The rubberized coating it's actually dried up, and it's a little bit crinkly, and well, it's just something that naturally happens with a lot of these jackets that haven't been cared for in a while. Also some that have just kind of been kept away. But yeah, that's kind of the general insides of these jackets here. Typically all of them are unlined, sort of that thin duck cloth or canvas. But yeah, I think these are really nice pieces of history, and if you are looking for like that sort of chore coat, LL Bean barn coat kind of thing, I'd say save your money. If you're gonna go buy a LL Bean barn coat, save your money, go on eBay, go on Facebook Marketplace, and just search around for these. I think these have a little bit more history to them, and they're a lot more unique. And if you can find different examples with different features, something like this where it has a big corduroy collar, a shooting shoulder, that sort of rain back. Also something like this where it has the flannel lining, is something unique. And you know, other jackets like the LL Bean or modern day shooting jackets or hunting jackets don't have, and it's just really cool and neat. But yeah, I got these jackets relatively cheap, and I got these on Marketplace for I think like $35 each. And that's sort of the higher end. I found looking for these jackets, well, if you're getting them to collect them or to resell them, that's a bit on the higher end. Most of them, you'll find them reselling around the $70 to $100 range. If you go to antique or vintage boutiques, you can find these actually for a lot higher prices, like $150 to $200. If they have some story to them, character to them, and some cool features to them, they can fetch higher prices in stores. But yeah, I thought I'd just make this real quick video. I haven't really seen too many of these floating around online, on YouTube at least, explaining sort of the history and sort of the different features. I didn't really get too much into the history, but most of the companies that built or that made these jackets were really hunting brands or department stores, really focusing on that sort of hunting niche that kind of kicked off in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and sort of making what saved T-Back really was it was more safety gear around hunting, and some of the others are just general hunting brands, outdoor brands, and just department stores. Another thing is when you're buying these, make sure you get your measurements checked and double checked and to your measurements. I find that the shoulders on these jackets are a little bit more narrow. I think it's just the general body frame of people back then, but also just how they kind of tailored these jackets were kind of narrow. So make sure you double check just the shoulder measurements and the pit to pit measurements. Those are really important, especially, that's just a general rule of thumb for a lot of vintage pieces. You'll be getting, especially with this era of, you know, the mid-century pieces. But yeah, I got these on Facebook Marketplace. They had a terrible smell to them, so I washed them and just having them out here dry. So I thought I'd make this video. If you guys like these videos, want to see more about them, just give me a comment in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.